Hit me with that lights, camera action. Vibe catching eyes like an Aston. Smooth as the Bachelor. Giving y'all the news with the freshness. Live from the couch, we address it. Culture know our guest beat. Flowing on the ocean like a jet ski. Separate circle, gotta bring your best for the best beat. And dress to impress on the tube like the ESPYs. Channel 50 where you catch it. For real, this the vibe, dog. This the vibe, dog. This the vibe, this the vibe, this the vibe, dog. Say this the vibe, dog. This the vibe, dog.
Hello everyone, I'm one of your hosts, Jocelyn, and welcome to another episode of The Vibe. I'm here with my fellow host, Bruce.
Hi everyone, I'm Bruce, and tonight's episode will feature an album review, a word from our community alongside some interesting opinion pieces, and a very special interview with tonight's performer.
Super exciting. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome, and if it isn't, welcome back.
Welcome back, y'all.
Today's guest is a very talented artist. His latest album, Love Don't Live Here Anymore, released in 2020, and his latest single, Mo Money, came out last April. I'd like to give a warm welcome to Philadelphia rapper, Marquis. Marquis, it's wonderful to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much. Appreciate it.
Awesome. So, where did you start when did you start in music? What were some of your inspirations?
Well, as far as starting in music, I started in music as long back as I can remember. During, family events, me and my other cousins used to perform a lot, and we had this little singing group that we used to do. So music has really been a big part of my life ever since then. And that just kind of, translated forth back into, now to where as though I'm still making music today. So that was like a really big part of that coming into it. Inspiration-wise, I would probably have to say, I think Drake would probably be one of my biggest inspirations. He's just like such an all-around artist, from hip hop to like R&B to even like pop stuff. So that's kind of where I want to go as far as my music, to just be so versatile where I can work with just about any artist and it'll sound good. So that's kind of, where I'm trying to take this to.
Okay. So you mentioned Drake. Do you have any other influences or other artists that you look up to?
Yeah, one of them is actually not even that much of a rapper, but actually Diddy is one of my biggest inspirations. Just as far as like his way to put his business also into his music, I'm just a big fan of how he like gets things done and how he's just so motivated and stuff like that. And he's just been a big influence for me as well.
Okay. So like the work ethic.
Yeah, the work ethic, 100%. Yeah.
Alrighty. Is there a project that you're most proud of?
Probably my latest album, Love Don't Live Here Anymore. Again, I dropped that back in 2020, so I kind of been in the lab for the past 2 years. But that project, I just kind of like put my all into it. I just like dropped everything I had, like all at once, the good stuff, the bad stuff, and I was just like, I dropped it all and then just took a little break to kind of find myself again and just get back into it. And then hopefully within, I want to say the next year, we'll probably be hearing another project soon.
Oh, okay. And now your latest single, Mo Money, what were some of the influences and inspirations for that single?
Mo Money, that was, females honestly, was just the biggest inspiration for that. Just how the video portrays, we were just all having fun at the time and really felt like we needed to kind of make an anthem for, the females, just kind of speak on their behalf in a sense. So that was just really, how that got started. And I think it just turned out really great, to be honest.
Alrighty, cool. Now on Mo Money, you collaborated with Young Dime, correct?
Correct.
What was it like working with him?
Young Dime is a very interesting artist, on the track and off the track as well. We have a good collaborations whenever we decide to link up and do music, and we just kind of have that thing where we know what each other should sound like. So we just kind of go back and forth off of each other, and then we were able to just make another great track, and I think that everybody who heard it really liked it. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Now getting into your album, Love Don't Live Here Anymore, it came out in 2020. Is there a story behind that album? You mentioned that you kind of just like put everything into it, the good and the bad.
During that time, I wanted to take a break from music. I was stuck at a point where I kind of was trying to decide between, should I make music that I like making, or should I make music that the people want to hear? And if you listen to it, there's so many like different styles and types of sounds and whatnot. So I was stuck doing that, with that for a little bit. And that's when I just decided, you know what, let me give y'all what I have right now, and then just take some time out to just reevaluate how I want to do this. And then when I do come back out with another project, hopefully I'm just going down the direction that I really want to be going down. That's going to work for me.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. Now, where can people find your music? Like,
you can find it in just about every streaming platform: Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, SoundCloud, YouTube. Just anything that you can find anybody else, you can pretty much find me. So it's not hard.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And kind of last question, do you have any like dream collaborations, like people you're like itching to work with right now?
Dream collaborations, let's see, Tory Lanez, I think I would really like collaborating with him. Kanye West, like that would be dope. And lastly, probably Ice Spice. Yeah, for personal reasons. That's all. Yeah, I would really love collaborating with her. That would be tough.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier that you possibly have some music coming out soon. What can people really expect?
You can expect a sound that you might not be used to. I really want to give people something like unheard of, but something that they would still accept. During this time, there's a lot of TikTok trends and stuff like that as far as music goes. So I'm just kind of finding that little in-between section between the trends that you guys are liking and love, and also something different and unexpected that you might have not heard of before, but you'll still accept just because it's actually really good. So that's what I'm trying to do. And like I said, hopefully within a year, we'll be able to see that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marquis. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, and look forward to you performing.
I appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Lauren Jackson.
And I'm Wyatt Westlake.
We're your correspondents, and today we're going to be doing an album review for Ari Lennox's sophomore album, Age, Sex, Location.
This album is the long-awaited follow-up to Ari Lennox's debut, 2019's Shea Butter Baby, and I think this album is great. You can really hear Ari Lennox honing in on the sound that she established with Shea Butter Baby, and there's still plenty of growth that she shows, both vocally and in terms of songwriting. So Lauren, what were your favorite songs from the album?
Well, I really enjoyed this album. I enjoyed seeing Ari honing in her own sound and experimenting with new genres of music while being able to really just tell different stories with her songwriting. I think it's such a refreshing and serene combination from Shea Butter Baby, which is a little bit more neo-soul and R&B, just in terms of the topics she was singing about with self-love and just acceptance and relationships, and this more was about having self-love outside of relationships and really just honing in her own independence, which I thought was amazing. So
yeah, and musically I feel like she's also taking a lot more risks, so like especially with the lead single Pressure, which is a little more up-tempo. There's a lot more like pop production. It's less down tempo than what she's usually used to. I mean, we get plenty of those songs on the album, but songs like Pressure really stand out.
And what I love about this era with Age, Sex, Location and Ari is just about how she's experimenting with her image and what she has to say, from the Pressure music video being like a homage to all these different R&B and pop black icons that have come before her, to songs like Boy Bye and Waste My Time, which she's really experimenting with her being completely blunt and honest in her lyrics, while also really not caring about what anybody has to say about it. I know she had a lot of pressure following up to Shea Butter Baby. This really felt like an acclamation of her being able to put out a body of work that she's proud of and just that she feels comfortable with.
I feel like also with this album there's a lot of more direct approach with songwriting, like especially on songs like Hoodie, which is just like an amazing love song. It's just such a sweet concept, and I just love the way she writes. And of course, I mean, singing and vocally, she just never fails to impress, honestly.
What were some of your favorite songs from the album?
Definitely, I mean, it goes without saying, Pressure.
Absolutely, that's
Hoodie.
one of mine.
I love the intro, POF.
Yes.
And of course, I think Stop By might be my favorite. I love the chorus on that song. Beautiful melody.
Mine are Pressure. I love Waste My Time.
Oh yeah.
POF, Boy Bye, Outside. There were so many songs that I was like listening to this album and I was like, oh yeah, that'll get added to like my complete rotation playlist. But then I was like, I can't be every song, but it nearly was every song.
Right. You mentioned Boy Bye. I feel like that's the one song I like. Like I like it, but like I could also kind of do without.
Really?
Honestly.
What was it about?
It was mainly just like the long skit at the end where they're
with Lucky Day.
Yeah, with Lucky Day, where they're doing like the playful, like you know, like flirty, like acting a little bit, and it was cute. But like I also just kind of didn't totally need it. I also thought Lucky Day sounded really good on that song.
I love his voice. I think it corresponds really well with the way Ari's is very raspy and can switch up tempo from being more upbeat to lower. I think it really coincides with like the smoothness and kind of deepness in his voice. And I get what you're saying about the fact that you think it went a little long, but like listening to it, it felt like I was hearing like Black Twitter conversations or like something that you would see on Instagram in a meme of like, look at what this dude sent me in a text.
Yeah.
So it was just funny to kind of listen to and be like, what's the point of this song? And then when you hear her singing, like basically saying that she's not dealing with him and she's not trying to waste her own time, like I feel like it really like coincided to like a kind of strong body of work in which she's saying like, yo, like I ain't got time for you. And he's like, oh come on, like I can see why you think it went a little long, but I personally enjoy it.
I think that's fair though, and I don't hate it, but I think it goes on a little long. But what I do think it does is it ties into like sort of the album's title, which is like Age, Sex, Location. It's inspired by the old blog era, like chat room, kind of vibe, which I could see from that. But speaking of features, what did you think of the other features on the album?
Well, I really love Chloe, just as an artist and as Chloe and Halle. So I was really excited to see how she would correspond with Ari's voice, because I know a lot of Chloe's music is a lot more confident and upbeat in terms of both the messages that she's talking about and her actual vocal tone. And I was interested to see how it would correspond with Ari's, who can sometimes be a little bit softer but still powerful in her own right. And I think Leak It was kind of the perfect song for them to have a combination of both pop and R&B and kind of combine into like a self-empowering, upbeat, like resistant type of song, which I found interesting for the both of them, because Chloe kind of typically has that energy, but at the same time she could be more vulnerable, while Ari's more on the always vulnerable side, and this album was really her experimenting with her confidence and self-love. So
I really unlike you, I haven't been the biggest Chloe fan. I'm not as big of a fan as you are. I know, I've heard her on some songs, but I really didn't know what to expect, because the only songs I really know were those more pop, upbeat, confident songs. So, but I was really impressed with what she did, especially just her vocal range. I was just so impressed with it, and the way that her voice complemented Ari's on the song. It just sounded really great, and I think that song, especially the production, was perfect for both of them, and it was a good match.
It's interesting that you mentioned that about Chloe, because I think since she's come out as a solo artist, a lot of people, which they should in her own right, have just associated what her singles have been with what her type of music is. But I think at the same time, it's also a disservice, because they've been completely ignoring a lot of the music she's made before with her sister, which has neo soul and hip hop and pop R&B elements over the course of 3 albums, mind you. So it's not like she hasn't made that sound completely clear, which is why when I was seeing some of the discourse online about it, why is Chloe in this? It's like, what do you mean? She could do this. She's been doing this. I think just her pop and hip hop recently sounds in her music have been kind of throwing people off as to her range and what she can really do. But I think this song really reminded people, hey, she's very vulnerable in what she can do and has a lot of range in terms of the songwriting and just her vocal ability.
I guess with Chloe being a solo artist and kind of trying new things and on a bigger scale, her singles have been huge. There's new expectations that people have that come along, because people who don't know Chloe, or maybe this is their introduction, they might not know what to expect from Ari Lennox, because Ari Lennox has a typical sound. And moving on, another one of the features, Summer Walker. I have not been the biggest Summer fan.
Oh my gosh!
I like a lot of her music. She's talented, and I understand why people like her so much. And I think she makes alright music, but like my issues, I kind of find it a little boring at times. But yeah, I came away with that song being like, like what's Summer gonna do? But I really, really love that song. That's actually one of my favorite songs on the album.
Summer's album Over It really had me in a chokehold in high school. So overall, how do you think you would rank this album out of 10? Is it gonna be on repeat? Is it on your playlist? What do you think?
So honestly, like this album, I don't know. I feel like it hasn't been out long enough for me to put it over Shea Butter Baby or not yet. I think so, yes, but this album definitely does have like a lot of my favorite Ari songs. I think it's definitely easily one of the best R&B albums of the year for sure. This will definitely make my list whatever number it is. But in terms of 10, I think I'd give it like a strong 7.5. Probably, yeah.
Really, I was gonna go with like an 8.5 out of 10.
That's fair. I'm not always the kind of person who like scores albums, so yeah.
I tend to rank very high, but I think Ari just really deserves it in terms of her vocal shine and just how her songwriting. She's been experimenting with it and really improving it and using it to tell different stories than you think she would show, and how she encompassed all of her features and the sound. I think it really just made a cohesive, refreshing, overall outstanding album.
It's a nice short listen too.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a great conversation with you guys. We're here with...
I'm Wyatt Westlake.
And I'm Lauren Jackson. We're thankful to be here as your correspondents for The Vibe.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Bruce.
And welcome to Community Vibes, where we feature your voices on our show. We wanted to hear y'all's opinions about the hip-hop industry, so we posted some questions on Instagram to see what y'all had to say. So the first question was, how has hip-hop culture influenced you?
Mr. Westlake said, it becomes part of your daily life and a large amount of music I enjoy.
Randy has said that rap culture has made me feel more connected to my community.
Black Kingbo said, it helps me make friends.
Nike on Aniagua, 18, said that it had brought me closer to the Black community through encouraged sympathizing.
Another question we asked was, how does the media portray hip-hop/rap artists?
Black Kingbo said that it portrays artists in multiple ways. Some artists are villains and some are good people. Media tends to focus on the downfall of heinous actions of Black artists and rarely promote good that they do.
Randy said, the media portrays rap poorly. The public give the misconception of hip-hop.
And then Mr. Westlake said that some large publications often portray rappers in a negative light compared to other genres. Which I actually want to jump off of that last one. I think that's actually really interesting because I feel like directly towards the hip hop industry or where of Black artists in any genre, I feel like that's where they definitely put a negative insight on them. How do you kind of feel about it?
I agree. I feel like, especially with now, media is just kind of like a joke in a way. People are not being represented in the way that they want to, and kind of like, it's just like social media is just a bathroom wall. Like people just have their different opinions, and it's just, I don't know, it's not cool. I
feel like it definitely all gets mixed up in there within the societal norms. I feel like that plays a big aspect into it. And I feel like when it comes to the music industry, and they add politics in there. Mm-hmm. I feel like they add politics in the way that these hip hop and rappers and these artists are portrayed, and I don't think that's fair. because everybody, I feel like, has their own individualization, like their own part of them, and that's what they try to do through their music. But I feel like a lot of times the industries and politics and societal norms, that's where it starts to create that separation between, you know, their music and what their music's actually about, and then like, you know, what they want. And I feel like that's where it kind of gets confused.
I agree.
Yeah. So I guess we can go ahead and jump to the third question. So why is hip hop and rap culture controversial?
Okay. Nike Adnan Gu 18, because capitalism, white supremacy, and other oppressive systems make it.
Mr. Westlake has said that some music spreads messages of violence, misogyny, and homophobia.
Black Mimbo said, because it is a representation of a certain aspect of black culture that white folks don't like to question.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about it?
I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, a lot of the points in there, I do agree with. Homophobia is, you know, it's a topic, but I don't think it's directly. I feel like a lot of some of the ideals, especially the negative ones, are misconstrued based off of how they are saying it, and I guess that's all just expressionism. I mean, I feel like expressionism usually gets mixed up with, you know, the actual message that they're trying to say. And at the same time, I mean, they're expressing themselves. That's how they feel. And that's how I feel, of course, though. I know it differs among the different listeners and viewers. Yeah.
Alrighty, the next question. What is the best part of hip-hop rap culture?
So It's Different said the iconic lyrics.
Black Kingbo said collaboration projects. Okay.
Randy said when the rap is about something that matters and that's real. The best part is feeling connected to the artists and their experience.
Mr. Westlake said the music.
I definitely have to say, for me, it's when they talk about something that matters, or they
something
feel
real.
it. Yeah, something real. Because then, like, I feel what they're feeling as they're performing or they're saying it. And especially when they talk about things that are going on today. You know, I've learned, it made me go research. You know, I've listened to a lot of songs, or it made me go research some things, and I learned something
And it put
new.
you into an experience.
Yeah. So the next question, let's go ahead and move on to the next question. What is the worst part of hip hop / rap culture?
Kalani said the standards.
Okay. It's Different said the fact that rap today glorifies sex, money, and drugs, disrespects women. I disagree with that. I don't think all music does that. I think all genres, my apologies, touch on those things, depending on the artist and depending on the song that's playing. I mean, we could talk about rock music all we want. They talk about all those things, all those negative things all the time. But I feel like instead they like to subjectify hip hop and rap culture because it talks about or it stars black artists. And I think that is an issue that is deeper than the surface.
Alrighty. I think that's all the time we have.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we appreciate your submissions and thank you for joining us on this conversation.
Yeah, it was real good. I'm glad that we were able to talk about some things today, some controversial things today. And tune back into The Vibe. And I'm ready to hear y'all voices again, so.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right.
Hey guys, it's Victoria, and this is my opinion segment on our community segment that we had, talking about how African American rappers are sort of looked at compared to any other artists. So, of course, we all know the basic stereotypes that a black man has to deal with without being an artist. So, when you go on a song and you're rapping and you're talking about this and that, the stereotype is, of course, going to increase, and the way that you're perceived by the media, by the people, by any different type of race, it's obviously not going to be the best representation. Now though, many celebrities, many artists have had a future in the past, maybe of crimes, allegations, things like that, but that doesn't always mean the stigma needs to be on, of course, the black male rapping is the problem, or that he is the person who is the problem in a situation. More so when you deal with, let's say, labels or have like a deal, they always look at the artist as, oh, he did this, he wasn't mature enough, oh, he doesn't have the mentality to get better. But it's actually the opposite, probably because the music business is targeted for black men to not really succeed unless giving away everything that is them, which is their music, representation of themselves, to a label. So of course the stigma towards black men is very difficult, no matter whether you're an artist or a regular person, but being an artist is probably 10 times harder, especially with public criticism, and you're automatically the bad guy. But I feel like it comes with the job, and you have to have tough skin in order to be a black man in this society.
My bed, where you left me tangled up. Now it's noon. In your shirt that you gave me, half asleep, wishing I still had you. I'ma hold it down, baby. Tell me, can you take it? My life crazy, I know that you hate it. For so long I let time get away from me. But I'ma hold it down, baby. Tell me, can you take it? My life crazy, I know that you hate it. This time I guess you could put the blame on me. I've been gone all night. I've been busy for a long time. Tell me, is it all mine? Tell me, are you alright? Yeah, I know it's crazy to ask you if you can wait on me. I closed a brand new deal, I got this chain on me, so you know that I carry a lot of weight on me. I wanna see you shine, I guess that it's gon' rain on me. Yeah, iced out body, didn't go to college. Price tag poppin', put you on a private. You so exotic, take you to the tropics. If I got it, you know that you got it. Iced out body, didn't go to college. Price tag poppin', put you on a private. You so exotic, take you to the tropics. If I got it, you know that you got it. Down, baby, tell me, can you take it? My life crazy, I know that you hate it. For so long I let time get away from me. But I'ma hold it down, baby. Tell me, can you take it? My life crazy, I know that you hate it. This time I guess you can put the blame on me. Can you just put faith in me? You're my Disney candy, OD. I ain't gonna sleep, I work OT. All these late nights gonna be worth it. No sleep, late nights. I've been chasing this life. I know I ain't been around for you lately, but I'ma come around for you, baby. This ain't over. Late nights working overtime for you. This ain't over. Late nights working overtime for you. I'ma hold it down, baby. Tell me, can you take it? My life crazy, I know that you hate it. For so long I let time get away from me. But I'ma hold it down, baby. Tell me, can you take it? My life crazy, I know that you hate it. This time I guess you could put the blame on me. Time got away from me, but you can put the blame on me. Time got away from me, but you can put the blame on me. Put the blame. My bed, where you left me tangled up. It's noon in your shirt that you gave me, half asleep, wishing I still had you.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us.
We hope that you had a good time. I know I did, and a special thanks to Dior Marquis.
We can't wait to see you guys next time, and thank you for vibing with us.
Bye. Thanks for vibing with us.